Hey guys, this is Isha.
Hi Amaya.
Welcome
to the Hiubang Show.
So guys, as always,
don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, share, and turn your bell on.
so first of all, I would like to thank to Mr. Rohit Mahapatra who requested us to react on the States and Territories Explained on India by Geography Now
channel.
So this is going to be the second video.
The second video from Geography Now.
I think we saw the Geography Now India.
India, yeah.
So this is the States and Territories Explained. So I wonder what's the difference.
So what else? What else that we will get to know from this?
Dude, like before we continue, we have reacted to probably tens of videos that talks about this, but it's never enough. So many.
So check it out.
Check it out, guys.
Before we start, this video is
Oh,
sponsored by a good sponsor that we found, one
He's
that I
thinner
actually
now.
believe in and personally endorse, Cetera. It's a geography quiz game. We'll get back to it later. But first, as you guys know, this is a filler week video. And by popular request, we are doing the states of India. Now, the thing about India is that it's actually kind of broken up quite a few times since independence from the original 14 states, mostly because of the people groups or the languages, stuff like that. So before we get into this, just keep in mind, I am not Indian. I have never even been to India. So in order to make this video, I had to talk to a lot of you guys. I've read a lot of your emails and comments, and I compiled as much information as I possibly could based off of what you guys, the Indian geographers, have said. So kind of, you know, if I get anything wrong, it's, you know, kind of your fault. So let's just jump into it. The 29 states and the 7 union territories. Andhra Pradesh, the capital, Amaravati. Now this is an interesting state because it kind of has like the fastest growing GDP in all of India, over 16% in the past few years. Over here they speak Telugu, and this guy wrote this play, which is kind of considered like the most prominent Telugu play in all of Indian history. Otherwise, they're famous for the Kuchipudi dance, one of the 8 classical styles of Indian dance. And yeah, they have great beaches and caves. Arunachal Pradesh, capital Itangar. This is the region that's kind of disputed with China, although it is administered by India. In order to get in as a foreigner, you will need a restricted area permit. Otherwise, culturally, it kind of takes cues from Tibet, you know, the whole like Buddhism thing going on. There's quite a few Buddhists here. People here are super friendly. They're famous for their wood carvings and their carpets. Assam, capital Dispur. Now, if you watch the India episode, you'll know that I talked about the 7 sisters in northeast India. Assam is kind of like the big sister. This place is known for disputably having the nicest tea and silk, and the silks are kind of made based off of what they actually need. The silk is interesting. They're also known for preserving the incredibly rare one-horned Indian rhinoceros, and the longest bridge opened up in 2017 over here as well. Assam, awesome. Bihar, capital Patna. This is kind of like the Buddha state. Lots of famous sites for Buddhism. Supposedly they have the Bodhi tree that Siddhartha Gautama sat under. Otherwise, on the Hindu side, I was told that they're very big on Ram and Krishna. I was also told that they're very hardworking people. Chhattisgarh, capital Naya Raipur. From what I was told, this is kind of like a somewhat militant-ish type of area. They're known for producing a lot of coal, and they are kind of one of the poorest states. And there is a noticeable community of people that kind of have Maoist/Naxal ideologies, and it kind of clashes with the main Indian government. But otherwise, generally the people here are just nice, but there's just a little bit of controversy, that's all. Goa. This is the Vegas of India. It was a former Portuguese colony, and now it's known for having a ton of Russian tourists that just flock over and take over everything. Great beaches, bars,
Even the language is
happening.
Russian.
The funny thing is the people in Goa, like the actual citizens, are pretty chill and normal. It's just the tourists that give it the crazy vibe. But yeah, Goa, it's like where everybody wants to go to for a vacation. You want to go to Goa. Yeah. Gujarat, capital Gandhinagar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is from here. Now this place is famous for a few things. First of all, it's kind of like a desert. They have one of the largest salt deserts in the world. They have this forest which has the last of the Asiatic vines in the world. Oh, I forgot.
Gujarat.
They're voted the #1 ease of business state in India. The people here are very good at doing business, and they're really good at trading. Also, no alcohol is allowed in this state, but that's okay because they go to one of the union territories that we'll talk about later. But yeah, basically, people that can handle money really well come from Gujarat. Haryana, capital Chandigarh, which is shared with Punjab. Long story. Haryana, I was told, is kind of like the rougher, tougher brother of Punjab. It's known as like the wrestling and boxing capital of India. They have one of the highest male to female sex ratios, like there's more men than women. And this place is famous for having a lot of people that are hired to become bodyguards for other people in other states. Like this is the bodyguards.
Yeah, I saw
Himachal Pradesh, which has 2 capitals, the summer one, Shimla, and the winter one, Bhutan Dharamshala. This is kind of known as the state that hosts the Dalai Lama, but it's actually kind of known as like the beautiful holiday destination that Indians love to visit. It's known as the abode of snow, one of the snowiest places in all of India. Culture-wise, again, they take a lot of cues from their Tibetan neighbors up north. But yeah, cool state, lots of culture, lots of beautiful landscape. People like to visit for vacations. Jammu and Kashmir also has two capitals. Summer one, Srinagar, and the winter one, Jammu. I have to be very, very careful with this one. Why? Because if you watch the India episode, you'll know that Pakistan and China and India are all kind of vying for ownership of this one area. Basically, the area that is kind of operated by India, we'll talk about. Besides Lakshadweep, it has the highest percentage of Muslims in all of India at about 68%. It used to be ruled under these princely states. And it's funny because like the people here are so nice and welcoming, even though they've gone through like multiple wars. But yeah, it's like the world's most beautiful conflict zone. Jharkhand.
Beautiful conflict zone.
It's kind of like the sibling of Chhattisgarh. A lot of the people here kind of also have the same Maoist ideology. However, it also does have one of the holiest sites in Jainism. Well, how do you pronounce it? The Shikharji, known for having a lot of minerals that they mine, and famous cricketer Dhoni came from here as well. Karnataka, capital Bengaluru, formerly known as Bangalore. The capital, Bengaluru, is kind of known as like the Silicon Valley of India. So many IT companies and startups are coming up in this city, and they have the lowest unemployment rate in all of India at less than 1%. Otherwise, they're known for having the Hampi ruins, and they speak Kannada, or is that how you pronounce it? I was told it's pronounced Kannada, but some people have said Canada, like what? Is it Kerala, capital Tiruvananthapuram. This place is kind of famous for being known as the spot where Jesus' apostle Thomas kind of landed and spread the Christian gospel. And today you see kind of like a lot of Catholics and Christians, and they all kind of speak Malayalam. A little bit of a tongue twister. Say it with me. Malayalam. It's not Malayam or Malayam. It's Malayalam. Backwater is a very famous place. And yeah, Kerala is kind of like the state that's like doing pretty well overall in a lot of things like literacy and HDI and all that other stuff. All the other states are like, maybe we can kind of take pointers from Kerala. Madhya Pradesh, capital Bhopal, the heart of India, the history state with tons of religious and historical sites. You have the Bhimbetka rock shelters. You have the Khajuraho temples, which kind of depicts all those, Kama Sutra, sexually explicit images going on. A lot of you have told me to mention the Bhopal gas tragedy that happened in 1984, and I was also told that the people here seem to be really big devotees of Ganesh. Maharashtra, capital Mumbai. This is the richest state and the second most populous, third largest in area. It's kind of like the New York and Los Angeles of India. It's like the economic hub and the entertainment hub. Bollywood is over here. Tons of people flock over to pursue their dreams. I mean, aside from all that though, they do have a lot of like Marathi forts and like historical sites as well. But yeah, Maharashtra is kind of like the central nucleus that everything kind of builds off of and expands outwards from. It pushes India forward. Manipur, capital Imphal. This is one of the 7 sister states. A lot of the people here, just like all the other 7 sisters, have a little bit more of like an East Asian look to them. They're known for having their own distinct hill tribes. 5-time world amateur boxing champion Mary Kom came from here. They're also known for having these cool floating islands. Floating islands and boxing women. Meghalaya, capital Shillong. This place is known as the abode of rain, and they're kind of like the water people of India. These 2 villages get the most rain in all of India. They have really interesting matrilineal tribes, and they have really cool foggy hills. But yeah, cool hill people with their own customs, and the water people. Mizoram, capital Aizawl, the land of blue mountains. This is the most forested state in all of India.
This is where called rocks.
Pretty eco-friendly, and they even have eco-tours. It's kind of like the Costa Rica of India. The people here are just really chill, and they just kind of like sell their handicrafts at the market. Alright, so that's the halfway point. Just very quickly before we move on to the next one, just want to say thank you to Cetera, our sponsor for this video. Cetera is a really cool geography you can actually download on Android or iOS at this
What is Cetera?
Or you can just go to the website and play. There are tons of games you can choose from here. You've got a lot of things like regions, physical landscapes, capitals. You can even custom create your own game. And they actually made a Geography Now game. Not only that, but the game also comes in 34 different languages. It's really fun. I totally recommend you guys check it out. Go to
Geography, interesting.
Nagaland, capital Kohima. This is like the most Christian state of India, but they also still kind of retain their own indigenous tribal cultures and customs, famous for the Hornbill Festival. And it's funny because like they're very westernized, but they know that the tourists come in, and so they kind of have to like put on their traditional costumes and put on a show. But it's like, hey, whatever makes us money. Odisha, formerly known as Orissa, capital Bhubaneswar, known as the land of cyclone. It's also known for being like the ISRO's launch site for their satellite programs. This is one of the 3 states that never broke up throughout all of Indian statehood history. It's kind of known as like the state that bridges the north and south. They speak the Oriya language. They have an amazing wetland and mangrove park where you can find like tigers and elephants. Probably the most famous landmark being the Sun Temple of Konark. Punjab, capital Chandigarh, shared with Haryana. Keep in mind, this is only part of the larger Punjab territory, which is also shared with Pakistan. A lot of you guys had stuff to say about Punjab. Overall, a lot of you said that Punjab is probably the most loved state in India, partially thanks to Bollywood. They got really good food, really nice people. They have the largest Sikh community in all of India. They also have the holiest site in Sikhism.
Oh, this is the place that give free food for thousands of people.
Rajasthan, capital Jaipur, the land of Rajas or kings. It's the largest state in area at 341 square kilometers. It is also one of the states that never broke up, and there are just endless forts and palaces found in this.
Rajasthan.
Like a camel
Places
fair,
to see in
supposedly
Rajasthan.
But I don't
they have
remember.
like the best henna artists. Keep in mind, food-wise, they keep things very spicy, and it is at about 75% of the population the most vegetarian state in India. Vegetarian kings in the sand. Sikkim, capital Gangtok. Now this is an interesting one because it kind of joined India in 1975 to kind of avoid the Chinese. It used to be its own kingdom, and these people are very similar to the people of Bhutan. They can kind of generally understand each other's languages. Lots of Tibetan Buddhist type of culture going on here as well. And it is, as of right now, the most environmentally friendly state in all of India. It is almost completely organic, as in they don't believe in using chemicals or pesticides in their agriculture. Very clean air, they love nature, and they love, it's kind of like the Bhutan of India. Tamil Nadu, capital Chennai. Now if you want real like, South Dravidian Indian culture, you come here. This is like straight up the southern capital of India. The main language they speak, of course, is Tamil, which is completely unintelligible to Hindi. They have so many temples, including the largest functioning Hindu temple in the world. Technically, Angkor Wat is a bigger Hindu temple, but it's no longer active, so it kind of doesn't count. I was told they are big fans of Rajnik Ant. Telangana, capital Hyderabad, the youngest state of India. They literally split up from Andhra Pradesh in 2014. I was told it's kind of like the whole, Catalina, Spain thing where they're like, hey, we're making a lot of money, but you guys are dragging us down, so we're gonna kind of split off and make our own thing. And then Andhra Pradesh was like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, yes, we can. And we're gonna take Hyderabad. They're like, no, you can't do that. And like, yes, we can. Make your own capital. Yeah, messy divorce. Anyway, they're also famous for Tollywood or Telugu Hollywood. And it's interesting because they still kind of retain a little bit of the Persian culture that was brought over from the Mughals and Nizams. You can find it in things like the painting and their shadow puppets. Tripura, capital Agartala. I was told, is this even India? It's like the state that very few people even know much about. It's like all sides of their state are surrounded by Bangladesh. So no shocker, they have a lot of Bangladeshi immigrants. Apparently I was told they like to play horse polo. But yeah, I think out of all the states, they are kind of like the biggest anomaly. It's just like the mystery state. People probably come here to hide out and avoid the authorities when they're on the loose. I don't know. Uttar Pradesh, capital Lucknow. This is the Taj Mahal state. And it's kind of like oh dang, where did that baby boom come from? You guys just like exploded in population in the past few years. And now it is the most populous state. It's also home to Varanasi, one of the most famous cities in the world for Hinduism, Jains, and Buddhists. And yeah, a lot of fertile land over here. Lots of spices and agriculture happen in this state. Very key, important player in all of India. You cannot have India without Uttar Pradesh. Uttarakhand, capital Dehradun. This place actually has some of the holiest sites in all of Hinduism. It has the Jim Corbett National Park. Again, I was told these people are super nice, very welcoming, and I was specifically told to tell you guys that Urvashi Rautala is from West Bengal, capital Calcutta. Kolkata. change the spelling. This is the last state that never broke up in all of India. Technically, you consider the fact that it broke up from East Bengal, which became Bangladesh. But yeah, these people are kind of also known for having some of the best sweets in all of India. And they're also known for having some of the best literature and academics. Some of the greatest minds from India, like this guy, came from here. They're also known for being very strong devotees to Durga. Sweets and academics, West Bengal. Now we reach the Union Territories, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, capital Port Blair. This place is known for being home to one of the last uncontacted human tribes on Earth.
Ini menarik nih, pulau ini nih, North Sentinel Island.
Allowed to visit their island. It's also home to India's
ada Christian missionary.
Chandigarh. Now this is interesting. It's
Kesana
the
meninggal.
capital of both Punjab
Ditembak
and
sama orang.
Haryana. It's also a union territory in itself. Basically, this was a planned city that was built because they gave Lahore to Pakistan, and it was kind of made to be like a model of affordable housing in India. It's a new city. Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. There's the interesting thing. Gujarat, like I mentioned, does not allow alcohol. Maharashtra does. So where do they meet in the middle? These union territories. These places are kind of known as like the places where both states can kind of join together and have a beer. And Daman and Diu, I think it was also Portuguese, wasn't it? Yeah. Lakshadweep means 100 islands. Basically, in a nutshell, the majority of people here are Muslim, and they're very similar to the people of the Maldives. You find a lot of atolls and a lot of people living on these narrow sandbanks, and they have like an island culture. The capital territory of Delhi. Keep in mind, this is a separate entity from New Delhi. But yeah, this is kind of basically where all the politicians go and the worst drivers in India, I was supposedly told. And even though they are a territory, it's weird. But yeah, busy people making laws, causing controversy for the rest of the country. And finally, Puducherry, capital Pondicherry. This is the French-speaking area of India. Here you can also find Auroville.
Oh, Auroville is
All
ini.
people kind of came together and they wanted to make their own utopia. Then there was a little bit of controversy, but yeah, it's
Ini kayak negara yang sendiri gitu.
French-speaking Indians. And that is that. Once again, thank you to you guys, all the Indian geography peeps that helped me out with this video by giving information. I hope I got most of it right. But yeah, in a nutshell, India has so many different types of people groups and languages and cultures and traditions and customs. It's like you can't summarize it all in one video, and obviously this one didn't even scratch the surface. But for what it's worth, beautiful country, and I'm so glad and honored to have done this video. Thank you, stay cool, stay tuned.
As always, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Don't you think so?
About the states.
Fun facts. You know, I want to tell you a story about the Sentinel Island, the North Sentinel Island. It got very viral about the island. That I think about last year, a Christian missionary from America went to the island in hoping to spread Christianity.
Yeah, okay.
But before he got into the island, he got shot
by the
indigenous people
of
the North Sentinel Island. So there was like a big controversy that people are laughing at this guy. Of course, and there are some people who supported this guy. So that was very interesting.
And now we know why, because they don't allow people, strangers, to come to their island.
Yeah, because basically the government allow. It's very interesting actually. Like some of the states there, because the government cannot allow to do what they do. So I think in the case of North Sentinel Islands, the government cannot allow them to be. They don't want to They don't want to be colonized. They don't want to be like. They don't want to know about technology. They don't care about all that kind of stuff. However, what I'm really actually all of that, like all the places that we see that we have reacted, actually they can located very far away from each other.
Very far away. Yeah.
I don't think a 1 week trip to India is enough.
It's very large island, a large country.
Yeah. Like it kind of like opened up my mind. Like for example, like if you don't know anything about Indonesia, you probably hear about Borobudur. You probably hear about Bali, and you probably think all of that kind of like located close to each other, or even like Raja Ampat. You know, as a foreigner, when I go to Japan. I thought all the places are close to each other. Like for example, I went to Osaka, I went to Kyoto, and then I went to what's it called, Kyoto, right? Actually, it's kind of far apart from each other. So I think it's the same case like India. When I was watching the content earlier, the video earlier, it was like saying that like Taj Mahal is somewhere
over here. At the top,
at the top of India. I was thinking like Taj Mahal is in the middle of India.
And Mumbai is like in the apa?
Bawah.
Di bawah,
southern part,
in the southern part of India. That's interesting.
That's interesting. Of course, we know about how culturally diverse India is, which is still to my amazement.
So it means when you come to Mumbai, it's not apa? Lu nggak langsung lihat Taj Mahal. You need to travel to that states to go
you want to
see
know how ignorant we are? Like, so she was saying that how ignorant we are. We thought that by landing on Mumbai from Indonesia,
I can see Taj Mahal directly.
Apparently, you have to take a train at least to go there, or road trip. As always, guys, that was a very, very interesting. I think we need to watch the Indonesian one.
The geography now that talking about Indonesia.
Yes.
That will be interesting.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We'll see you guys.